Classic rock album reviews coming right at you.
Schmack-a-ma-ga, people. Diver Down turns 40 years old today. I absolutely love this album now. This album wasn't supposed to be made. What it was Dave wanted to do Dance in the Street, and he was like, let's do Pretty Woman. So they did Pretty Woman instead. Became a huge hit. Then Warner Brothers was like, come on, man, you got a huge hit on your hands. You got to make an album. So they ran in and made an album. Now, a lot of people got a problem with this album because it's got too many cover songs on it. To me, they're not cover songs. Yes, they were written by other people before, but Van Halen made it their own. I mean, Where Have All the Good Times Gone, the first song on here, a Kinks song. Have you heard the Kinks version? Sounds nothing like their version. And yes, David Bowie did it later, which kind of resembles it a little bit, but not. Come on, no. Because David Bowie also did the intro that the Kinks did. They did it completely different. It's a total Van Halen song with lyrics from an old Kinks song. I absolutely love it. Great song. And by the way, I did a review on this album that was banned on YouTube. So in the link below, you can see the version with music and, footage of the band, where you can see it there. You can't see it here, but I'm going to talk about this since it turned 40 years old today. And then it goes into, here it says Little Guitars, but no, it's Hang 'em High, right? Pretty sure it's Hang 'em High. Let me take the album out just to make sure. Let's see if my memory serves me correct. Where Have All the Good Times Gone, Hang 'em High, Secrets, Intruder, Pretty Woman, Dancing in the Streets, Little Guitars intro, Little Guitars, Full Bug, and Happy Trails, right? Pretty sure. But I'll take this album out anyway. Hang 'em High, that's a song that they did back in the club days called Last Night. And they changed the lyrics around, and Dave did it. He was watching Western movies. He got the inspiration from the Western movies. And I guess, because there is a movie called Hang 'em High, right? With Clint Eastwood, I'm pretty sure. And it's a ripping track, and it's one of the originals on here. And, a lot of people complain about Different Kind of Truth has a lot of the old demos. But every Van Halen album, the six-pack, everyone, all the way up to 1984. House of Pain was an old demo, and in a simple rhyme, and Mean Street was Voodoo Queen, and the second album had a bunch of songs like Somebody Gets Me a Doctor, and you can go on and on. But it's a reworked song from the club days, and it's a smoker, man. It rips. Love it. And then you got Cathedral. I don't think I said Cathedral before, did I, when I was naming off the songs? Well, Cathedral, I'll never forget seeing Eddie play that on the Fair Warning tour. He played that, with the knob, and I was like, what the hell's he doing, man? Sounds like an organ. That's why they call it Cathedral, because it sounds like an organ at a cathedral. And it's amazing. It was done in 2 takes. Because after the second take, the volume knob, which he plays the song, it froze up. So they just used the second take, which is awesome. Love it. Going into Secrets, right? And Secrets is beautiful. It's an original tune. That is maybe that and, there's a couple other songs that are kind of original at the time. One for the club days. Cathedral is beautiful. It's like a mellow song, but it's not really a ballad. And Dave said he got the lyrics, ideas from a postcard he got, I think, in Mexico when he was on tour. Like, he got some of those sayings on the postcard. He kind of, jotted it down. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful song. I love how Dave sings it. I love Dave's voice way more than Sammy's. Secrets. Love it. One of my favorites on here. It's a great, great song. That goes into Intruder. Now, Intruder's interesting because when they did Oh Pretty Woman, they made a video. It was like David Lee Roth and Pete Angelus, the creators of all those Van Halen and early David Lee Roth videos. they did that video, but it was too long, so they needed to add some music in the beginning, and Dave did like the keyboard on it. And they added it on the video, and then they said, hey, let's put it on the album, on this, you know. So the weird instrumental is kind of like the cousin of Sunday Afternoon in the Park from the album before. It's cool though. It's very eerie and, you know, spur of the moment type thing. And it's awesome. Then it goes into Pretty Woman, Oh Pretty Woman, which may be the closest to the original of all these cover songs on here, but it's still Van Halenized with the, you know, the guitar riff and stuff. You know, it sounds much more, you know, beefier, and it's like the only hit on this album. And it's cool. Maybe my least favorite on here, I ain't gonna lie. I do like it, but I ain't gonna lie, it's my least favorite. And that video was the first video to be banned on MTV. The Oh Pretty Woman. I do remember seeing it on MTV back then, and then soon got taken out because, you know, the little dwarves were like grabbing the leg of that chick. I don't see what's so bad about that. It wasn't a chick, by the way. It was transvestite. Then we flipped the album over, which Dancing in the Streets, right? Man, I love this song. And this is definitely, musically, a completely different song. It's a song that Eddie wrote music to, and they just added the lyrics to Dancing in the Street to that song. And yeah, it's not a very popular one. I've seen a lot of people bash on it. I've seen Eddie bash on it, and Eddie is like a Monday morning quarterback, because there's an interview here on YouTube where Eddie was praising Diver Down, saying how much, you know, it was a great album and he loved doing it. He talked about Dancing in the Street, how, you know, he came up with the music and stuff. But then in later interviews, he was saying stuff like, I'd rather tank on my original music than succeed with cover songs. Well, your cover songs were, you know, originals to me, man. I mean, to everybody out there. If you think this is a covers album, you're kidding yourself. They are doing it their way. And Dancing in the Street, it's a fun song. A lot of people don't like it. I love it. And that goes into Little Guitar's intro, which it sounds like more than one guitar player, but it is just Eddie strumming on the guitar and going dun 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 dun. Sounds like two guitar players playing. Amazing stuff. All right, next we got the song Little Guitars, which is awesome. I love it. That little, Eddie would play, I don't know if he's playing that little guitar, that little Les Paul he plays live to this song on the studio recording. He might have, because I believe he got that guitar the year prior. And what can I say? I mean, Dave had this like, I forgot who it was. Eddie bought these albums from a guitar player that was like, man, I can't play like that. So he kind of cheated. And Dave wrote some like Latin type lyrics to it. You know, Senorita, I'm in trouble again. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. Little Guitars, another one of my favorites on here. Next, Big Bad Bill is Sweet William Now. I used to hate this song as a kid. And I used to have this on 8-track. And yeah, I used to have to sit through this shit so I could hear, you know, what came off after this. Now I love this song. It's a little scat tune, you know, like an old, have you heard the original version of Big Bad Bill? It doesn't sound like this, you know. And they got Jan Van Halen, Eddie's father, to play clarinet on it. And Eddie's father at that time was missing his middle finger. He had it amputated the year before, and he was all nervous. And Eddie told his dad, look, we make mistakes all the time. That's what makes these albums great. You know, I mean, well, he didn't say that's what made these albums great, but I'm saying it. The 6-pack is awesome. I don't think it has any bad songs, really, except for 1984 instrumental. That I can do without. But everything else is, to me, top-notch stuff. Even Big Bad Bill, that I used to hate back in the day. I love it now. It's just so, you know, it's just a fun little, you know, old-time, ragtime song. Dave's playing the acoustic guitar on it. And And Jan does a great little clarinet solo, you know. It's fun. It's a fun tune. Absolutely love it. And then we go into my favorite song, The Full Bug. That song rules all. It's just a fun, kick-ass song. Best part of a man. And Dave plays the acoustic on it and plays the harmonica on it. And it's just it's a ripping tune, man. Full Bug is definitely my favorite song off Diver Down. Love it. It's great. And then it ends with Happy Trails, which is just them doing, you know, the Roy Rogers thing, Happy Trails to You, which you can, which they did a lot before this album. They recorded it in the demo form, the demo days, and also in radio stations when they would end radio interviews like WSHE. When I saw my very first concert, my very first Van Halen concert in 1980, they went to WSHE, which you can hear it on YouTube as well. Funniest interview. And they kind of end it with Happy Trails. They end it with Happy Trails, and then they keep, you know, then they jabber a little bit more after that. But yeah, it's a fun little ditty, you know. It's just them, you know, who cares about the clowns when we're together? With the great, you know, Michael Anthony. And Eddie doesn't get a lot of, you know, it's always Mike. Oh, Michael's part of the greatest backing vocals. Michael and Eddie. Because I think if you separate either one of those two, I don't like the way they sing. You add them together, and yes, it is the greatest harmonies I've heard in any band, by far. And you know, Eddie's horrible. Michael, I think, is horrible. I'm sorry. I've seen him do Somebody Get Me a Doctor and stuff. It's just terrible. I don't like it at all. But you get him with Eddie and just do backing vocals, it's amazing. So there you go. This turns 40 years old today. And I stand by this album. I love this album. If you don't like it because it's got too many covers, you're wrong. If you don't like it because you don't like the songs, you're right. There you're right, you know, I mean, in your opinion. I love the songs. And I love this album. This album rules. And it turns 40 years old today. And that back picture there is them at the Tangerine Bowl opening for the Rolling Stones in 1981. And unfortunately, I didn't go to that because Orlando's very far from me. A lot of people think Florida's not that big. It is huge. It takes me about 4 hours to get to Orlando, to where I'm at, you know. Yeah, I had somebody once say, hey, man, I'm going to be in Orlando this weekend. Let's hang out. It's like, dude, you know how far Orlando is from me? So, yeah, I didn't know anybody that went to that show. But I heard, you know, later on, people told me about it when they opened for the Stones. Great picture. And love it. Love this album. I love Six Packs Van Halen. I love all those albums. And I got to say, I love all Van Halen albums in order. My favorite is the first one, then the second one, then Women and Children First, then Fair Warning, then this, then 1984. Yes, 1984, a lot of people like more than this one. A lot of people point at this one as their least favorite, and that's cool. That's them, not me, man. I put Diver Down up there above 1984, but I love 1984 as well. I love them all. So there you go. That's my review of Fair Warning. Fair Warning, listen to me. Diver Down, which is a double entendre because it also meant dive her down. And the album cover is, you know, the flag they put up when people are diving. And, you know, Dave explained the album cover like, you know, it's not what you think. You know, there's things here you don't see. Like, you know, when the diver's in the water, you don't see the diver, but you see the flag. That's kind of like what he meant by this. And I still don't know what the hell he meant by that. But hey, there you go. Thank you so much for watching. If you like to donate, I got a PayPal in the description below. And please subscribe to my channel if you have not. So, and ring that little notification bell and like the video, man. It helps. So, stay frosty, like Diamond Dave says. Listen to Black Sabbath and smack 'em a gob. Bah!